Okay. Good morning and good evening, everyone. I am Pravina. I would like to welcome you all to GCAR Global Webinar Research Series. Global Council for Ayurveda Research is an international non-profit organization based out of USA. Our mission is to encourage, educate, and facilitate basic clinical and interdisciplinary research in Ayurveda. Our mission is to promote and establish Ayurveda as an evidence based health science globally. You can learn more about us at ayurvedaresearchusa.org. Please do consider joining us as a member, which will bring you access to all our resources. And no non-profit organization can operate and succeed without volunteers. So consider joining us as a volunteer, and we can place you in a variety of projects based on your skills and interests. Once again, our website is www.ayurvedaresearchusa.org. Now, I would like to introduce to our eminent speaker, Dr. Mahesh Thakur, and I'm just Dr. Mahesh Thakur has rich experience of Ayurveda practice in Mumbai suburbs since 1992, acclaimed for treating challenging cases and rare diseases for the last 28 years. He is also equipped in treating patients in two well-equipped clinics with Panchachakram facilities. He has many more achievements towards himself. He was an ex-president and an ex-secretary of Maharashtra Ayurveda Samlinan Dombewali. He was a vice president for Ayurveda Vishwapeeth Konkam division, and he is also a secretary of Tilak Nagar Shikshan Prasarak Mandal Dombwali. Um, I'm going to give the mic to Dr. Mahesh so that he can continue. Sir, I made you a co-host, so you should be able to share your screen to get forward with it.
Sharing the screen now.
All attendees, kindly stay off video.
We can see your screen,
Hello.
sir.
Is the screen is visible?
Yes, sir. We
Yes,
can.
So should I start? Enough
yes,
Yes, sir.
please.
Please go ahead.
members are there. All members joined or what?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, everybody
Okay.
has
Okay.
joined, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you again. So good morning and good evening also to everyone, and happy New Year. As a medical professionals, we are constantly seeking innovative solutions to complex health challenges. So, dear colleagues, it is an honor to be speaking with you all today. We will be exploring today hypothyroidism with Ayurvedic insights. Let us see. This is, as you know, a thyroid is a small butterfly-shaped gland in front of neck. An adult human typically weighs between 20 to 60 grams. So this is again, you all know this is something which is known as background to be created before the starting the actual our topic to ensure the knowledge or primary knowledge of thyroid. So this is hypothalamic pituitary axis, and the thyroid secretes thyroid hormones in response to the signals from hypothalamus and pituitary glands. The hypothalamus releases uh, thyrotropin releasing hormone. It is called as TRH in short. The pituitary gland secretes TSH in response to TRH. Then thyroid stimulating hormone stimulates thyroid gland to release thyroxine, that is T4, and thyronine hormone, that is T3, and again a calcitonin also. This entire mechanism works on the negative feedback inhibition. And for example, when T3 and T4 levels increases due to hormone signals, the hypothalamus and pituitary to stop producing TSH, and thyroid gland stops producing hormones, and the T3, T4 level drops. So this mechanism is there, and now you can see the thyroid functions. Thyroid acts on so many organs in the body, and see you can see heart, intestines, brain, muscle, bone, parathyroid hormone, kidney, bone, and all. Thyroid's main job is to control the speed of metabolism. Thyroid helps to regulate the amount of blood that a heart pumps to the circulating system, which is known as cardiac output, and speeding up and slow down of heart rate. If you can see the nervous system also gets affected with the if the thyroid is not treated properly, and the symptoms including numbness, tingling sensation, sense of burning may occur. Even depression, anxiety can be caused because of this untreated thyroid disorders. Raising and lowering body temperature is also one of the function of this thyroid. It is also helping the protein synthesis. Bone health is also dependent upon the thyroid function. Muscle control also. So thyroid disorders are so many, like Hashimoto's thyroiditis, Graves' disease, thyroid cancer, thyroid nodules, hyperthyroidism. But the thyroid disorders prevalence is more, that is 54%, and all over world it is. Thyroid disorders global prevalence is about 200 million people on a global scale, are staggering, have problems with their thyroid glands, with over 50% remaining undiagnosed. As estimated, 20 million Americans have some or any form of thyroid disease. One in 10 adults in India suffer from hypothyroidism, as well as it is three times more common in women. Adults in the age group of more than 35 plus are at the risk of development of hypothyroidism. Even one in every three diabetic patients could have underlying thyroid disorders. That should be noted. More than 12% of the US population will develop thyroid condition during their lifetime. This is again a global thyroid gland disorder treatment market. Uh, See, there is a rise from 2019 to 2024, the incremental growth, and $453 million this market is, and see the growth is 3.9% growth is there. 40% growth of will come from the North America. I think there are some doctors colleagues joining from North America, where the this thing is percentage is more. So now let us move to hypothyroidism signs and symptoms. As you all know, all of us have seen at least one patient in a month of thyroid disorders. and most of them are hypothyroid patients. Appearance is puffy face. This is a cardinal symptom. Loss of eyebrows, uh, pleural effusion sometime, weight gain in cardiac this thing, bradycardia, systolic hypertension may be seen. You can observe the paresthesia, brittle nails, loss of libido. Patient may many times complain. Slow speech, shortness of breath, goiter sometime. Harrison's described the typical symptoms, and these are very important. See, difficulty in concentrating and poor memory, constipation many times, peripheral edema, serous cavity effusions, paresthesia, impaired hearing sometimes. Menorrhagia is also a very common symptom, and later it turns into the oligomenorrhea or amenorrhea. Hoarseness of voice is also commonly seen. Many times women complain hair loss, simple one symptom hair loss, and you can guess the thyroid, or with the menstrual disorders, oligomenorrhea or amenorrhea, you can easily diagnose, or you have should have think about hypothyroidism. Now coming to Ayurvedic insights, see, this comes under the Anukta Vyadhis. Anukta is a term which is used to describe a disease or a substance which are not stated or explained in the Ayurvedic texts. So Acharya definitely had a vision of forthcoming new diseases, hence they explained the concepts of approaching to the new diseases. And that is called Anukta. And there are guidelines. So in the concepts of Anukta Vyadhis, Acharyas commented that the Vaidya, see, Vikaranam Abshulo na Jiryat Kadachana, Nahi Sarva Vikaranam Namatosti Dhruva Sthiti. So they have commented that the Vaidya need not to be ashamed while the diagnosing the Vyadhi. It is not necessary to know the exact name of the disease. Nahi Sarva Vikaranam Namatosti Dhruva Sthiti. So since all disorders cannot be given the standard names, so there are innumerable diseases because of the same vitiated dosha. So Janayatya Amayan Bahun. So innumerable diseases because of the same vitiated doshas causes various disorders. The same dosha causes various disorders because of what? That is accordingly to the variation in etiology and locations. So Samutthana Visheshataha Sthanantaragatasthaiva. So Samutthana is a hetu, etiological factors, and a location, that is sthan. So due to different positive factors and locations, the same dosh can generate different type of diseases. This is what was said by Charkacharya. And in such conditions where there are the new diseases, there are specific guidelines, and the guidelines here are yo hi etat tritayam jnatva. That means if any physician knows the three things only, then such a physician karmasu na muhyati. He will not fail. He will not fail. Or he can start the treatment, should start the treatment. Karmani arvate bhishak. Jnatva. Three things. So methodology of Anukta Vyadhi is illustrated in Samhitas are like this. First is Vikara Prakriti, that is nature of the disorder. Pathogenesis of the disease should be identified. Only Dosha Dushti is not responsible for the production of the disease, but the Vyadhi Ghatakas like Srotasa, organs, target tissues, are also important. The second is Adhishthan. Adhishthan is a location or the site of the disorder where the disease is manifested, and it is a place where the dosha dushya samurchana takes place. In this disorder, there is a particular site, that is thyroid gland, that is Adhishthan. Third one is Samutthana Vishesha, that is etiopathology of the disorder. You can call it as a causative factor also. So, ahara viharaja manasik hetu, by knowing the hetus, one can understand the variation of doshas and the gunas of the doshas also. So, hetu will help us definitely to know which dosha has increased, and the quantification of doshas. Also, the qualities of doshas, those are gunas, so that you can easily assess by knowing this hetus. So, diseases which are not described here. Again, this is another one reference uh, which is here specified, saying the same saying like the same previous shlokas. That is, roga ye api atra na uddishtaha, bhutva na nama rupataha. So diseases which are not described here due to their various names and their clinical presentation shall also be treated accordingly, uh, by just taking consideration of dominance of dosha, dushe, and etc. So, syad doshadin viksha bheshajam. See, dosh adin is a dhatu, mal, and strotas. So, treatment that is opposite to dosha. Dosha dushya nidananam viparitam hitam dhruvam. When you confirm that particular dosh is involved in this pathogenesis, or the two doshas or three doshas are involved in this particular pathogenesis, and the dushas, they are target tissues like dhatu, mal, strotas, organs, and nidan, that is hetu, if you confirm it, viparitam hitam dhruvam. The treatment that is opposite to the dosha, dushya, nidan is always beneficial, and the diseases told and untold, uktan, anuktan, gadan, here can be treated with the proper implementation of these principles. So, before giving the medicine, say, dosha, dushya, nidanana, viparitam, hitam, dhruvam. So, deshakala pramananam, satmyasya chaivahi. So, the medicine shall be prescribed. So, when you confirm the nidan, when you start prescribing the medicine, before that, the you should take in consideration of desha, that is habitat, kala, season, pramana, dosage, satmya, that is adaptability, asatmya, non-adaptability. And if this is properly considered, then it is pathya or beneficial to the body systems. So, in esham pathyam anyatha bhavet. So, otherwise it is not beneficial. So, you should consider this 3-4 point, that is desha, kala, pramana, satmya, asatmya. So, after considering this, you should start giving the treatment. So, now coming to the point, before diagnosing the hypothyroidism, we should always consider the pathogenesis, and that is samprapti. So, samprapti or pathogenesis gives a precise and comprehensive picture of nature of the disease. This is vikara prakriti, what we have talked earlier, and tasmat vyadhijanaka dosha vyapara vishesha yuktam vyadhijanmaya samprapti. So, entire process is from exposure to causative factors to disturbed and vitiated doshas and their pathological activities, and the occurrence of sthana samshraya followed by dosha dushya samurchana are the most important aspects of samprapti. So samprapti is nothing but a dosha dushya samurchana. and particularly pathological activities of doshas, right? So, what Samprapti denotes, the Samprapti gives idea of three, four things. First, doshas which have undergone the vitiation in many forms. How many forms doshas have taken to create this Samprapti? Having various kinds of movements where these doshas are going, and in the Shakha, Marma, Asthi, or in the Abhyantar Marga. So that movement that is known as Gati get lodged in various sites and organs where this Samprapti and the dosha Samuchana takes place. Is there is a one organ or there are many srotasas or the organs involved in the Samprapti? So getting third one is getting amalgamation with the susceptible dhatus. So which dhatus and srotasas are involved with the dosha? That also you will come to know by the understanding of Samprapti. The fourth one is srotorod or obstruction in the microchannels of the body. So you must understand this Samprapti first and then you should go further. So yastu rogam avidnaya karmani arabhyate bishak. So without knowing if any clinician gives medicine without examining or the proper diagnosis of the disease, won't work properly. So before giving medicine, you should understand the samprapti. And if you don't understand samprapti and still the medicine works, that also Charkacharya have told in the Charak Samhita that it is because of yadrucha or it is because of the accident that medicine works. So it is a very scientific what you call a view of our acharyas that they are saying that always that you should first diagnose the patient properly. So regarding the hypothyroidism, when patient enters in your clinic and tells the all the symptoms and you observe the signs and all the examining the patient, and then you will come to know rather than the reports that after examining by Ayurvedic views and taking the thorough history of whatever the Ashtavidha Pariksha, Dashavidha Pariksha, Sroto Pariksha, then Dosha Dhatu Malavi Pariksha and all, then you will come to know that uh, some particular uh, diseases which I also see in my practice. First, that is Ajirana. Ajirana is a state of incomplete process of digestion of ingested food, you all know. And normally food taken is broken down into the simpler and absorbable form formed by Agni. Disturbed Agni leads to formation of underprocessed state of food, which is uh, then as known as a Ajirana or the dyspepsia. Particular, this see the Lakshanas, Shotho Gandakshi Kutagaha. There is a swelling on the face, Tatrame Guruto Kledaha. So, Gatra Guruta and Gandakshi Kutashoth. These are the very typical symptoms you generally you see in the patients of hypothyroidism. So, Amam Vidagdam Vishtabdam Kapapitta Niles Trivhi Ajirnam Kechi Dichanti Chaturtham Rasaseshataha. These are the types of ajirnas mentioned in our texts. And the features of this amajirna, especially amajirna, is considered here as a in the samprapti of hypothyroidism, according to Ayurvedic view. And the features of this amajirna are sharira gauratva or the guruta, praseka, that is excessive salivation, uh, utklesha, that is nausea, and dyspepsia symptoms like burning in the stomach, bloating, belching, nausea, acidic taste in the mouth, crawling of the stomach, and many other. So these are the symptoms of ajirna and see the ajirna samprapti. So because of the causative factors, maybe ahar vyaraja or manasik, uh, manodainyajanya. So Agrivyapar, Jaఠરાગ્નિમાંદે, and then Ajir. So you can see many times people coming with the reports of TSH increase, and we can diagnose easily them in the this first frame, that is Ajir. So see lingam ajirnasya vishtabam sadanam tatha. These also two typical symptoms which are present in the uh, patients of hypothyroidism. Samprapti number two, that is again santarpan, santarpanotha samprapti. That is again we call it metabolic disorders. So Acharya Charka has mentioned a group of diseases which arises due to the over intake of heavy meals and sedentary lifestyles, collectively called as the Santarpanjanya Vyadhis, which can be correlated with MET-S, that is metabolic syndrome. And metabolic syndrome is a multifactorial disease and frequently associated with a cluster of pathologies, including obesity, impaired glucose tolerance, hypertension, microalbuminuria, hypertriglyceridemia, and many other symptoms. So causative factors, and the MET-S is now emerging as a crucial challenge in today's society and affecting uh, 11 to 14% of Indians and 1 in 4 in adults worldwide. So hetus are, the list is here: excessive consumption of a sweet, heavy to digest food and slimy food, new grains, especially new rice. In India, we traditionally use 1 year old rice, the new wine, old bottle and new wines. We say like that. So in New Year also, we should not take a wine which is new. Fresh flesh of animals living in marshy land, born in the water like fish, cow's milks and milk products, food prepared in the sugar, and those who indulge in the inactive lifestyle, that is Cheshta Dveshi, Diva Swapnarat, Shaya Sana Sukharat, these all are have a tendency to get these metabolic disorders, Santarpanotthajanya Vikar. So due to above mentioned causative factors, and it affects that the Santarpan, if it is not treated properly, there is excessive growth in Prithvi and Jala Mahabhutas in the Rasadhatu. Accumulation of kapha and ama in microchannels ultimately leads to Shota Prameha like diseases. List is also mentioned. See, Rogas Satsyopajayante, Santarpan Nimittajaha, Prameha Pidaka, Kota Pandu, Amaya Jwaraha, Uttani Ama Pradoshasya, Mutrakulsha Marochakaha, Tandra Klebyam, Atistholyam, Alasyam, Gurugatrata, Indriya Sotasamplepo, Buddher Moho Pramilakaha, Shopasya Vidasyanne Shigram Apratikurvataha. So diabetes, diabetic carbuncles, urticaria, skin diseases, uh, diseases initiated by increasing armor, jwara, obstinate urine disorders, edemas, various types of edemas, impotency, obesity, adhesions or blockages in the channels, drowsiness, and this in this list you can definitely add a new disease, that is hypothyroidism. Then Samprapti number three, we considered up till now the two Sampraptis. One is Ajirna or Amajirna. Then the second is Santarpanotthajanya Vyadhi, and we will diagnose it by taking the detailed history of causative factors, lifestyle of the patient, and we'll come to know that he is consuming this typical Santarpanjanya hetus. So, Samprapti number three, pathogenesis number three, the vitiated Vata dosha displaces, see, uh, Rakta, Pitta, and Kapha, and pushes them into the channels of circulation, that is Shotha, Bhaya Sira Prapyada, Kapasrup Pittani. So, Kapha, Rakta, and Pitta. Who displaces them? Vayu. See? So, Dushya is Rasarakta, Stroto Dushti is Sangha Vimargagaman, Strotasas, Rasava, Raktava, and Mausava. Adhishtan, that is the location, is Twak and Mausa, and Doshas are three. Dosh Pradhan, this Samprapti is. And see this vitiated and displaced Rakta, Pitta, and Kapha because of Vayu, which pushes them into the channels of circulation and then enter into the external vessels, that is Bahyasira, and then Vayu further obstructed by the morbid elements, this and causes accumulation of these three components between Twak and Mausa, and that is Shotha. So many times, patient comes with you with the cardinal symptom and foremost symptom, that is Shotha, pedal edema or edema on the face, and they complain that edema is there, swelling is there from last 2 3 months, and then you tell them to go for the blood test, and you will find that the TSH level is high. So you have to look uh, while taking history, that what is the foremost complaint. The patient lies under the frame of Sandarbhajanya Vyadhi, or in the domain of Ajirna, or in the Shoth, that you have to see. So this is Shoth. And fourth one, let us see. Samprapti number 4. Sthaulya, obesity, or Vedavrutavad. One can say that uh, Sthaulya, is there any difference in the Sthaulya or Vedavrutavad? Yes, considering the hypothyroidism, see, if Sthaulya is there, it is mentioned. Vedastu chiyate tasmad ashakta sarva karmasu sweda dorgandyam swapna alpamaithunaha. So if the Meda started getting deposited, and these lakshanas like Svedo Dorgandya, Kshudra Swas, Nidra Dikya, Ashakta, Sarva Karmashu are mentioned, but swelling is not specified. And if obesity or the weight started increasing, and made started depositing in the typical on the typical sites, say in the on the belly, and with that swelling is there. See, this is typically mentioned that when the vata accumulated in the adipose tissues, that is Medavruttavad, it causes movable, smooth, soft, cold swelling in the body, as well as anorexia, aruchistatha, adyavat iti jnaya sakrucho medasavruta. So, uh, this is known as adyavat also. And the Medavruttavad, it is typically mentioned that Vayu is occluded due to the Med. Med is also increasing in the typical sites of body. And as well as there is a Chalasnigdha Mrudu Shita Shofa is there. So this Chalasnigdha Mrudu Shita Shofa is typically present in the patient having hypothyroidism. So you should call when the patient's weight is increased, and you see, if you see this typical uh, swelling, then you should diagnose the patient as a Medavruttavad. Now coming to the fifth Samprapti, that is very typical, enlargement in the neck. If you see any enlargement in the neck, and maybe it is a goiter or slight swelling on the this typical at the typical area of the neck, and it is moving, there may be a cyst or a very small enlargement of thyroid gland, or a tumor, or or any abscess or anything like that is there. And if the TSH is high, then you should call this patient as a classical Galaganda patient. And this term is used to describe the swelling which occurs in the front of neck, which has a shape of button-like or boil-like or pimple-like structure. That means Ganda. And this Galaganda, in the Galaganda, vitiated kapha mixes with the Medodhatu, leading to the immobile, heavy swelling in the front of throat, as described Mahantam Shotham Alpamba Hanumanya Galashrayam. So that typical Shoth-like structure, swelling-like structure you observe at the neck region of the patient, then only you should call the patient falls under the category of Galaganda only. Otherwise, there is a translation of hypothyroidism as a Galaganda, and people give Kanchanar Gugul to all patients. So you should not do like this, because you should must first know the samprapti of the patient. So if that does, if it is fall under the uh, this thing, ajirna or the santarabhajanya vyadhi, or the shodh, or galaganda, and next one, see, samprapti number 6, that is manasa, mental disorder, or the upatapta manas. Ayurveda gives prime importance to the mental health. Physical imbalance can disturb the mental state also. And while mental illness leads to the disruption of the body function also. So there are several causes which are responsible for mental health, like social circumstances, traumatic incidences, indulgence, hereditary factors, unfavorable personal or familial and social environment, so many. Because of the this causes, the typically the patients, they are getting disturbed. Mild depression, anxiety patients are there, and excess of shoka, that is sorrow, krodha, anger, lobha, greed, moha, delusion, irsha, jealousy, abhiman, pride, mada, euphoria, bhaya, fear, are the some negative emotions can contribute this mental imbalance. And Charkacharya quotes that Vishado Rogavardhanana in Charak Samhita. And Vishada or depression is the foremost factor to worsen the disease condition. So, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Irsha, Shoka, Manodvega, Bhaya, Upatapta Manasa leads to Yad Annapanam Upayujyate, Tad Api Eva, Ama Eva Pradushyati. So, whatever food you take, that will convert into the Ama, because your mana is Upatapta. Why? This all kama, krodha, lobha, moha, irsha, manodvega, bhaya, upatapta manasava. So you have to see whether the patient of hypothyroidism is having such type of mental disorders or not. You have to take the history, proper history. When this TSH level increased 1 year, 2 years back, at that time any incident happened with that particular person, or any severe stress was there with that particular person at that time, and the result, because of that this TSH has increased, that you have to see, and accordingly you have to arrange the treatment. So now, so looking at a recap of the sampraptis, see, we have seen up till now, we have categorized this in the six modules. That is, one is amajirna, indigestion, metabolic disorders, that is Santarpanotha Vikar, Shotha Samprapti, Medavruta Vata Samprapti, enlargement in the neck, that is goiter-like thing, that is Galaganda, and mental disorders, that is Upatapta Manas. Now we have to see and move towards the actual treatment of these all six types of Sampraptis to treat hypothyroidism correctly. Samprapti one, that is Ajirna. So these are the medicines over here. And see, Lashunadivati, Ajmodadivati. My favorite, I use this as a Amapachak, that is Amrutottar Kashay, Guru Chahrite ki Shunthi Kashay, and Deep for Deepana, Pipalyasav. And these are the medicines. See, Bilva Sangrahika Deepaniya Pachaniyanam, as quoted in Charak Savita Sutrasthan, 25th chapter. In 25th chapter, there are list of medicines given by Charakacharya. Uh, those are Shrestha medicines, supposed to be the best medicines, and for particular karma. So, Bilva Sangrahika Deepaniya Pachaniyanam, Mustam Sangrahika Deepaniya Pachaniyanam, Pippali Moolam Deepana Pachaniyanam, Pachaniya Anaha Prashamananam. So Musta Bilva Pippali Shunti Pippali Mool. This should be given to such Amajirna patients, that you have diagnosed a patient uh, with a specified some lakshanas, and Gandakshi Kutashod, ya Guru Gatrata, or Sadanam, Vishtambam, like this particular lakshanas are there. And typical lakshanas are present in Annavostrotas. And if you diagnose the patient as a dyspepsia, then you should start this treatment. So this is confirmation of dosha dushya nidananam. Samprapti number 2. Santarpanotha Vikar Chikitsa. So in Santarpanotha Vikar, that is, we have stated that it is like a metabolic disorders. And Shastam Ullekhanam Va, that is given guideline given by Charkacharya and Vagbhatacharya also. So Lekhana or scrapping of Medo Dhatu is important. Lekhanam Kapha Meda, so scrapping of Kapha and Meda. Dosha is Kapha, Dhatu is Meda. So the drugs you should choose should have Anila Guna Bhuishta. So that, let us see. So for that purpose, you have to choose the Shilajit, Nasaro Astirogo Nachapi Nyantya Anya Shilajatu. So there is no disease on the earth which which cannot be treated by Shilajatu. So Shilajatu is a prime drug in such condition, and these are the kalpas of uh, Shilajit, Arogyavardhini, Chandraprabha, Tapyadilo, and Shiva Gutika. So I use in my practice for to treat Santarpanjanya Vikars. In Santarpanjanya Vikar, there are many diseases. The list of diseases given by Charkacharya, we earlier mentioned in this lecture also. And there are diabetes and so many things. We use Chandraprabha, Tapyadilo, Arogyavardhini for edema, for diabetes, for higher lipid levels, and so many things. But Shiva Gutika is a particular medicine which is very helpful in treating hypothyroidism patients to reduce their TSH. And if they are having these typical types of hetus where hetus are there, then this Shiva Gutika is very important, very beneficial. Samprapti number 3, and that is Shodha Chikitsa. And if prime symptoms, foremost symptom is swelling, then you should use Punarnavashtak Kvat. Uh, we give uh, this thing to prepare churna of this. We give Punarnavashtak Kvat Kores powder to a patient, and to prepare this Kvat, very fresh Kvat patient should take early in the morning. This type of practices are there in India, especially in Maharashtra. So instead of using this prepared available in the market, this Punarnavashtak Kvat in the bottle, we use fresh Kvat with Gomitra Haridaki, Chitragadi Gutika, and Shadharan Yog. In Rasakalpa, Punarnava Mandur, Arogyavardhini, and Mandur Bhasma. And if a single herb, if you consider single herb, then Punarnava, Shiguru, Kutki, and Shunti. These are the very helpful herbs to reduce Shotha. Punarnava Mandur is supposed to be the best drug, along with the Gomitra Haridaki, and to increase the Agni. one should use Chitragati Gutika first, and Chitragati Gutika with Shadharan Yog, and afterwards Punarnava Mandur and Gomutrajaki or Arogyavardhini along with Punarnavashtakvat as a Anupan for long time, say about 3-4 months, considering the shows Samprapti in particular patient. Samprapti number 4, that is Vedavritta Chikitsa, when patient is obese, weight has increased with Chalasnigdha Mrudu Shodha, then you should use Varunadikvat. It is very famous for treating patients of Mutra Krucha, kidney stones, renal stones. But if you see the actual reference in Ashtanga Hruday or in other Samhitas also, Varunadi Kafam Vedo Mandagnitvam Niyachati, Adhyevatam Shirashulam, Gulvam Chanta Anta Savidradim. So, Varunadikvad is specially mentioned for Antarvidradi, that is, Antarvidradi means the abscess, internal abscess, and Varunadi Kafam Medo Mandagnitvam Niyachati. So it is best for Kafa Meda and Mandagni. So typically the pathogenesis happened in the Meda Vruttavat. This Varunadi Kvat is very important, and you should give Bhumitarataki Chitragadi Gutika along with Loho Bhasma or any kalpa of Loho Bhasma, that is Navayas Loha. So why Loho Bhasma? We know all that the Loho Bhasma is best for to treat patients of Pandu. But in Loho Bhasma, see, Viryam Shitam Gurum cha Tuvaram, Lekhanam cha Atinetram. So Loho Bhasma is as well as Lekhan, as quoted in Rasa Tarangini. So Loho Bhasma acts as a lekhan, scrapping of kapha and meda in the body. So Gumitra Hitaki, Chitragadi Gutika, Loho Bhasma, and Kalpa of Loho Bhasma is Navayas Loho, and the combination of Trifala Trika to Trimada. So Vidanga Chitrak and Nagar Motha are the Trimada, and Sunta Maricha Pippali and Trifala, you all know. So Varunadik was with Medogna Chikitsa, that is Navaya Sloha, Gomitharatiki can be used. Samprapti number 5, and that is Galaganda Chikitsa. If you observe any enlargement at the neck area with high TSH levels, then you should give the best choice is Hamsapadadi Kwas, very famous, mentioned in Chakradatta Vaishya Ratnavali and many other Sastra Yogam, many other texts. Hamsapadi Vasa Guruchi Nimba and Pippali, and along with Laghumalni Vasanta, that is best, Rasapachak, and Kanchanar Gugul. So there is no need to use Kanchanar Gugul every hypothyroidism patients. So better to use according to Samprapti. So in Galaganda type of patients, Kanchanar Gugul, Puputnaki Gugul, Lagumalni Vasanta, and this typical herbs like Gorak Mundi, Shigru, Vacha, Trifala should be used. Samprapti number 6, that is again the last part of this, that is Upatapta Manas Chikitsa. And in Upatapta Manas Chikitsa, you definitely need counseling, yoga, meditation, and all. But if you consider medicines, then Manas Mitra Vatakam with Mausyadikvat, Surnamali Vasan to increase Oja, because there is definitely Oja Vyapat, Visrams or Ojakshay in Upatapta Manas type of pathogenesis. And many times Suvarna Makardhwaj is also helpful uh, to increase Oja volume or the gunas of Oja in the body. Also Vasanta Kusubhakar Ras, Brahmi Vacha and Tagar, these are the also medicines. Uh, we have excluded Jatavansi, sorry, Shankhapushpi and all other medicines, because these Vacha and Tagar are Ushna Viryatmak medicines. Gorak Mundi also come in this list. So Gorak Mundi, Brahmi, Vacha, Tagar, This typical Ushna Katu Ushna medicines are important uh, with Manas Mitra Vatakam and Mausyadikvat as a Anupan you should give. So these are the actual treatment part of this all six types of samprap. Now coming to the Vyadhi Pratyanik Upakram. So whatever the sampraptis are there, in all six types of sampraptis, some typical upakramas or procedures are fit to eradicate the all six types of sampraptis. That is Langhan. So Langhane Kshapite Doshe Diptegno Laghave Sati Swastham Shatrut Ruchi Bhaktim Balam Ojashcha Jayate. Oja also increase by just this thing experiencing this or advocating or telling them that you should go and observe the langan and langan for how many days. So langan ek shapete doshe. So agni will increase, shuddha will increase, trishna will increase, bala and oj will increase, and dosh, aruchi and gauravta will decrease. And langan for how many days? So Yogaratnakar advocates 5 days, and Dalland said 3 days of langan. So there is a again now a fashion of in Western also Western people they are very much favorable of uh, observing 72 hours of fasting, and this is actually described by Dalland that 3 days of fasting. And fasting means the total fasting, anashan or laghvashan. So we tell patient to go for laghvashan, that is mudgayush. We tell them to take mudgayush, amapachak peya or saptamushtik yush, and the utnodak seven throughout the day. So this type of treatment or the procedure we tell them to follow. That langan for 3 days or 1 day langan once in a 7 days or once in a 15 days or 3 days continuously 3 days langan. That is laghvashan rupi langan. So with Ushnodak, Manda and Mudgayush many times. Then Vyadhi Pratyanik in Upakram, there is a Nasya also. This is a typical Nasya formula we use to all types of hypothyroidism patients. And so this Amrutadi Taila Nasyam, Guruchi, Nimba, Kantakari, Pippali, Bala, Devdaru, and these all herbs are mixed and then the decoction made out of them and then this taila is siddha. So that amrutayadi tailam nasya, 4 drops in each nostrils for long time, say 3 to 4 months. In Shodhan Chikitsa, we advise them for Vaman Virechan, Lekhan Basti and Nasya. Nasya here is a Shodhan Nasya for 7 days. Uh, and for that we use Vachatel or the same Amrutadi Tail for the same purpose. Lekhan Basti you all know. And Vaman for particular patient who falls in the category of Santarpanjanya Vikar or Ajirnajanya Vikar Samprapti, then we tell them to go for Vaman. For Shotha patient, we advise them for Virechan. And for Medavritta Vat patient, we keep them on the Lekhan Basti and Nasya for all types of patients. So let us have again the review of the treatment patterns. And that is Amajirna Chikitsa, Shunadivati Amrutottar Kashay, Pippalyaso, Mustabilva, Pippali Shunti and Pippali Mool for Amajirna patients. And for this metabolic disorder type of patients, uh, Kalpas of Shilajatu, Shiva Gutika is very important in such patients. In Shotha Chikitsa, Punarava Mandu, Punarnavashtak Vat, Dashamularishta, Punarnavashigru Kutki and Shunti. In Vedavruttavat, Navaya Sloha, uh, as a Anupan, Varunadik Vat, Loho Vasma, and Kalpas of Loho Vasma also, maybe sometimes Tapyadi Loha. Kalaganda Chikitsa, here Kanchanar Gugul or Trifala Gugul you can use if Kukutnaki Gugul is not available. With Hausa Padadikwa, uh, Lagumali Vasant is also a drug of choice. In Upatapta Manas Chikitsa, which one should use Swarna Makardhwaj as a drug of choice with Vacha and Tagar. Gorak Mundi is also one of the best medicines. Mausyadikwad as a Anupan. And now come to our case studies. Case study number 1. See, this TSH is 13 and patient with a weight gain. Weight is 77 kg. Palpitation was present and he was very much worried and so self-suspecting heart disease and coronary angiography done. Uh, so nothing abnormal detected in coronary angiography. That time TSH was 10, BP was 120/80, and previously it was 13, TSH was 13. He was IT engineer, and when he was observed, examined on the 28th June 2023, so symptoms and signs were present. Laziness, lethargy, fatigue, constipation, agnimandya, body heaviness, anxiety, hair fall, dryness of skin, and a slight growth at the neck region. So these are present from last, some anxieties from last 3 years, uh, hair fall, graying of hairs from last 1 year, the growth from last 3 months. And so by examining, say clinical examination, TSH was 11.58, 28/6/23 at the time when he entered in the clinic. So Mala Avrod, Jiva was Niram, Roksha Sparsha of skin. Patient was obese. Agni was Manda. In causative factors or etiological factors, junk food, dairy products, excessive intake of dairy products, Guru and Snigdha food, type of foods. Junk food he used to eat too much. This is typical of Santarpanjanya Vyadhis. Diva swab, Achankraman, and Asana Sukham, Shayyasanam, Eka Shayyasanam for long time. See 11.58. This was the report. And treatment given. Oh, one slide is absent here. So treatment given was this thing. So when patient came to me, this slide is absent. So when patient came to me on 28/6/23, first started medicines were Arogyavardhini, 3 tablets 3 times in a day, and Rasapachak Vati, uh, Kalingakaha Patolasya Patram Katukurohini, that is Indrayo, Patol and Kutki, tablets of Indrayo, Patol and Kutki for 15 days. Then on 14/7/23, I am reading the previous slide, not this slide, which is absent in this presentation. So 14/7/23, alasya is less, lethargy is less, fatigue is less, body heaviness is less, and Hamsa Padadi Kwat was given as a Anupan and the same treatment continues. On 12th 8/23, 12th 8/23, almost after 1.5 months, Alasya Dorbalya Anga Gaurav uh, have completely gone. Weight loss of 1.5 kgs, same treatment given. And now coming to the 22nd 8/23, which is now you are seeing in the on the screen. So given Raktapachak Vati, Kanchanar Gugul, Gomutraitaki, and Hamsapadadi Vat. Diagnosis was Medavruttavat and Galaganda. Medavruttavat is because of there is a show, and this thing weight has also increased, and some small swelling in the neck area. So Hamsapadadi Vat was given, and the other treatment is for Medavruttavat. Now you can see after 4 months, sorry, 2 months, 26 August 2023, this reduces to 4.64, almost normal, 11 to 4.64. So the diagnosis is important. Dosha, doshadin viksha bheshajam, dosha dushya nidananam. So you should diagnose the patient as a, not as a always as a galaganda, not always as a shotha, not always as a ajirna, but you should consider the particular symptoms, signs, involves srotasas. You should carefully look at the causative factors, and then you should ultimately come to a conclusion. You should come to a conclusion that whether this patient is having ajirna, metabolic disorder, or a particularly galaganda, shotha, or does the this pathogenesis of this thing, Upatapta Manas type of things occurred or what. So, coming to my next case study number two. She is a female, and particularly in her condition, there is a facial edema, puffiness from last 2 months, pedal edema also, weight gain also, laziness and lethargy also. Patient came to me on 20th December 2023. Alasya Anutsaha, perspiration, Svedovruddhi, constipation is also there. She is complaining of heaviness of head. Always she feels heaviness of head. She is suffering from some family issues. So she always having anxiety and small depression also from last 1 year, and lack of energy is also there. So considering this particular symptoms and examination, see Nadi is Manda, Jiva is Sam, Akruti is Sthula, Agni is Madhya, Udarastha Meda Sanchiti from last 1 year, Svedadikya and Ayajasa Shram from also from last 3-4 months, Bhara Vruddhi is there from last 2-3 months. Especially you find in this uh, patients, that is Twak Shaitya, Twak Roksha, and Namanda Nadi. These are the common observations in these uh, six types of categories. Also, that there are common observations. There's, these three observations are always there. You find so, and in causative factors, lot of non-veg items, madhur and guru snigdha padartha, diva swap, and achankraman. So, considering this all this type of symptoms and signs and pathogenesis, uh, see the TSH is 111. So too high, and she wants only Ayurvedic medicine. She said, "I don't want to go to allopathic doctor, or don't want to start. I don't want to start modern medicines. I believe on Ayurveda, and whatever the you give, I will take it." So she is advised to take पुनर्नवा मंडूर आरोग्यवर्धी जटामांस्यादिक्वाथ. Uh, Keeping in the mind anxiety is the cause, and obesity is there, with Shoth is there. So Punarnava Mandal, Arogyavadi, Jatamasadikwad were given. Mukha Shoth, facial edema reduced. Other Shoth is also reduced. And see, on 30 January, after 1 month, this edema has totally gone. She has started feeling energetic. Weight has also lost. Complete elimination of facial edema, weight loss of 2 kgs uh, in the month of, say, February, and complete symptomatic relief on the 5th of the March, and again the investigation done, and TSH was found to be 5.5. So this is the 5.5 reports. You can see from uh, 111 to 5.5 within 3 months with the correct diagnosis and the treatment. So, again, thank you all, for your patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mahesh. That was an incredible presentation. And really, that was really good. Uh, there are many conditions that you have explained where people are omitted saying that it's just tiredness or something else. But that was a really informative presentation. Thank you so much for that. Uh, does anybody have any questions? You're welcome to put them in the chat, um, or raise your hand so that we can have one question at a time so that we don't overlap with each other. I already have a couple of questions here. Dr. Mahesh, if you're ready to go ahead and answer, I can start those questions.
Yes.
Yes. So the first question is by Suchita Rao. Can you please let us know what normal TSH levels are?
You all know, because all are this physician colleagues know. All are here are physicians, no? So that is that should be below 5 normally.
Okay, we have Pallavi Sood. She would like to ask a question. Ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity. Dr. Mahesh, it was a very systematically explained topic, thyroid, which is a complicated issue. And I would like to know, like, constipation is the sluggishness, the metabolic sluggishness of the gut. I would like to know why generally hypothyroid patients have hair fall. It's a very prominent symptom. What
Hello.
leads to hair fall?
Yeah, right. So many times there is a in hypothyroidism, as this is considered as a many times as a metabolic disorder, and whatever the samprapti is, if you say consider shoth, ajirna, or metabolic disorder type of santarpajanya vyadhi, hetu like samprapti or a galaganda, these all sampraptis comes under one domain, that is strotorod. And because of
Srotorod.
strotorod, the supplement
Okay.
or nutrition
Uttara,
to the
uttara.
dhatus are hampered.
Right.
So,
Okay. Uttara,
so the
uttara dhatus
asthi,
are not
yeah,
nourished
yeah, yeah.
properly.
So nutrition, they cannot get the nutrition, uttar
Okay.
dhatus, and because of that, the
So,
less nutrition to rasa dhatu and asthi dhatu, you normally observe the hair fall.
Right. And as the case,
So with
here is
hypothyroidism
the
patients, such patients, you should not give hair supplements. First, you have
no,
to
no,
eradicate
no.
the cause, that you have to give first this channel
Absolutely,
cleansing
absolutely.
medicine, channel cleansing medicines like Arogyavardhini, Shiva
Right.
Gutika, Punarnavashtakvat, and then you should go for the particular hair nutritive yoga.
Sir, again with Arogyavardhani, you have to be very careful. They develop hyperacidity after a certain days.
No, if you give it after food and
Okay,
two tablets
that's
or
good.
500 milligram twice a day after food, generally it is not
Hmm.
observed.
Okay, thank you.
I think, Dr. Pravina, shall
Yes.
I come in a little bit? Because thank you, Dr. Mahesh, for an amazing presentation. We will not be able to take consultation type of questions here. I think one question that we will take, and then we will end the session because we are over time, is Renu Joshi. How much value do you place in T3 or T4 values once the disease becomes long-standing and symptoms indicate most of the samprapti you discussed? How do we proceed to treat this client?
Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry.
Yes,
Can you repeat the question? This
I
is
think
regarding T3, T4 values, I think.
I think the first part of the question is clear, so we will take that question. How much value do you place in T3 or T4 values once the disease becomes long-standing?
Yeah, there are many times it is seen increased, but after treatment, this get covered. These two. When TSH become normal, if you give nasya for a long time, or if you give cleansing, that panchakarma treatment, this T3, T4 levels also will come down.
Yes, I think Renu Joshi is probably asking as a biomarker. So I think the answer is very straightforward, that this is a biomarker that is used in addition to our Ayurvedic assessment criteria. Is that, I hope that answers your question, Renu Joshi.
Uh,
So I think, yeah.
yes, thank you so much. I guess mine was a two-part question. So the second part for the doctor is that he very systematically went through the six sampraptis for us. But when we see a lot of chronic, long-standing thyroid patients, a lot of them have a combination of the symptoms indicated in the six different sampraptis. I was just curious to understand how would he proceed to treat this client. So it's really a two-part question.
So it's a very good question. You're asking about the chronic patient, right?
Yeah, the
So
long-standing chronic.
long-standing patients who are taking anti-thyroid tablet like thyroxine for last 5 years or 8 years or 10 years, such patients. It is very
Correct.
difficult to treat such patients with Ayurvedic medicines for a patient who is taking treatment with modern medicine for more than 8 years. If it is less than 5 years, then it is very easy to treat. Okay. So, in such cases, even you have to dig up and you have to take careful history of causative factors and pathogenesis when this particular disease has started. So at that time, what happened to that particular patient, whether there is a anxiety, depression, any incident happened with that particular patient, and thorough history, whether the this weight has increased or the edema was there, which is reduced by the medicine. What were the symptoms present when the patient was diagnosed first, at the first month of that particular that this thing, when the patient was diagnosed. So you have to consider those symptoms present, say about 8 years ago, 5 years ago. What were the situation? What was the situation? So you have to assess by that lakshanas present that time. That lakshanas are important. So then you will conclude that the particular shoth is there, or the ajirna is there, or galaganda is there. then only you can conclude that particular this samprapti is there. Many times you can see the mixed features also. Say obesity is also there, and upatapta manas is also there. So at that time you have to consider the both sampraptis and you have to give the medicines.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing is a mixed bag of symptoms. So I was just wondering, what is your tool
One
hack?
patient, in a one patient, two types of pathogenesis may be seen. You can see two types of or three types of mixed pathogenesis. Like in the my case study number 2, right? The lady came to me suffering from anxiety from last 1 year, and the edema was also present. So Vedasavruttavad and anxiety, Upataptamanas, these two pathogenesis were there. So she treated according to that. So Jatamausyadik Kavat was also given, and to particularly looking at the Vedasavritta Samprapti, Vedasavritta Vayu, Arogyavardhini Punarnavat Mandut given.
Thank you so much. Sounds like we can use a mixture of the formulas based on the symptoms when they are chronic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mahesh. Here in the US, actually, we also encounter autoimmune Hashimoto's, and that is probably can be categorized as Bahu-Hetu hypothyroid condition. Just wanted to mention that here in the US, autoimmune diseases are actually quite high.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all attendees.
Thank you.
This was a
Thank you.
wonderful session.
It's my pleasure, and I'm honored to be here within your platform.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking
Thank you. Wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for informative presentation, Dr. Mahesh, and thank you everyone for attending our webinar. Please watch and subscribe our YouTube channel to view earlier webinars and other presentations. Please like, comment, and share the videos. Once again, I invite you to become a member and also fill out our volunteer form if you're interested. You can now also subscribe to our IU Update newspaper to stay tuned on our projects and events. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at Ayurveda Research USA@gmail.com. It would be in the questions regarding how to join or any membership questions or any volunteer questions. I have also given the website address in the chat. Just let us know if you have any questions. I'll also provide this email address in the chat just for your reference. Thank you so much, everybody.